不行了，我马上摔倒了。
On March 9, 2026, thousands of viewers tuned into a routine clothing live stream in China. The host was 39-year-old Wang Yefei, known to her fans as Sister Wang Zha. She was vibrant, professional, and by all appearances at the top of her game. But just 30 minutes into the broadcast, Wang started clutching her head. She said, "I can't do it anymore. I'm going to faint." Then the screen went dark. What happened to Sister Wanza wasn't an accident, it was the terminal point of a life lived at the speed of the Chinese internet. Today, we're going to be looking at the gold rush of Chinese live streaming and the hidden cost of being a competitor in an industry that never sleeps. Hi, I'm Richard, and I want to welcome you to Dark Soak. This is a new channel dedicated to uncovering the darker, lesser-known crimes of the East. Stories that often get lost in translation or buried in regional news. I'll be posting stories like this weekly, so if you're drawn to true crime, please hit that subscribe button and join the conversation in the comments. Now, without further ado, let's get started. If you ask the kid in the US today what they want to be when they grow up, they don't say astronaut or doctor anymore. They say YouTuber or streamer. I remember when I first discovered live streaming, it was through games like RuneScape, MapleStory, or League of Legends. But in recent years, we've seen it turn into a cultural juggernaut. We have seen live streaming move from just gaming to more IRL content. For those of you that don't know, IRL or in real life is when people stream themselves going outside doing everyday stuff like cooking or walking around or just sitting there chatting with the viewers, with some of the more established streamers even hosting massive events. We've seen the meteoric rise of figures like Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed, personalities who turn 24-hour interactions into multi-million-dollar brands. Even top-tier celebrities are jumping in, realizing that streaming is where the attention is nowadays. But interestingly, in China, the streaming revolution took a different, more industrial turn. It's not just about entertainment, it's about survival and sales. To understand how the events came to be today, we have to understand the modern Chinese dream. For decades, the path to success meant moving from a little village to a factory in a megacity. And in a lot of cases, that meant leaving your kids or your family behind. But in the last few years, that path has changed. Now you don't need a factory, you need a smartphone and a ring light. However, the dream has become a digital bottleneck. The market is so saturated that the influencer lifestyle looks more like a survival game. In cities like Shanghai and Hangzhou, you'll see rows of streamers flocking together under bridges or in public parks late at night. They gather there because allegedly the high-end residential GPS tags help their live streams reach wealthier audiences. They sit on the cold concrete lit by identical ring lights hidden behind heavy beauty filters that smooth their skin and enlarge their eyes until they all begin to look like the same person. For every Sister Wang Zha who builds a loyal following, there are thousands of ghost streamers earning as little as $15 a month. They are trapped in a cycle of 6 to 8 hour shifts, performing for an audience that might just never show up, filled only by the hope that one viral moment will change their lives forever. In another sense, it's a factory floor without walls where the products being sold isn't just the dress or snacks, it's the streamer's own health and sanity. Now, within the streaming world, there's a specific grueling category, the fashion streamer. These women are the athletes of the retail world. During a single 3-hour session, a streamer might try on hundreds of different outfits. They're changing clothes in seconds, pinned behind racks, shouting prices, answering comments, and maintaining high-octane personality. It is a high-pressure environment filled by e-commerce stores, apps like Taobao, which is essentially the Chinese version of Amazon but on steroids. Because there are hundreds of versions of the same dress available online, the only thing the customer is buying is you. Your energy, your personality, the way you market the clothes, and Sister Wang Zha knew this. She didn't just sell clothes, she modeled them, she packed them, and she shipped them. Wang Yefei was a hard-working woman. Her nickname, Sister Wang Zha, essentially translates to energetic or explosiveness. She wasn't just a face on the screen, she was a mother to a 4-year-old daughter. She was a business owner who ran a physical boutique during the day. Her friends described her as down-to-earth, someone who refused to overcharge her 500 loyal followers in her WeChat groups. Those same followers, who she referred to as sisters, she handpicked the styles, controlled the quality, and personally handled the shipments. But the cost of that personal touch was high. Wang was reportedly surviving on just 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. She routinely live-streamed for 7 to 10 hours a day. Her friends said she was the one who never complained. If her back ached from standing for 10 hours, she smiled through it. If she had a headache, she took a pill and hit go live. She was beautiful, her business was stable, and her family was comfortable. But in this industry, comfortable is a dangerous place to be. You have to keep pushing or else you lose your slot to someone younger, faster, and cheaper. The warning signs weren't hidden either, they were ignored. Since the Lunar New Year in mid-February, Wang began suffering from persistent, crushing headaches. But in the streaming world, a day off is a loss in revenue. Instead of seeing a doctor, she used painkillers as fuel for an engine that wasn't allowed to rest. The March 9th broadcast was supposed to be routine, but 30 minutes in, the explosiveness vanished. Viewers watched in real time as Wang's condition rapidly deteriorated, with the entire ordeal unfolding in just over 10 minutes. She clutched her head and neck, urgently asking those off camera and her audiences to call an ambulance, with her final words being, "I can't do it anymore, I'm going to faint," before shutting off her stream. She was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Medical professionals confirmed the cause, a brain hemorrhage. Experts who analyzed the stream noted her unsteady standing as a classic sign of a ruptured intracranial aneurysm. These are often silent killers, malformations in the brain that stay hidden until high blood pressure, extreme stress, and chronic exhaustion push the body past the breaking point. Her husband later clarified that she had tried to adjust her schedule to be with her daughter more. For her 39-year-old body, the standard week of a Chinese entrepreneur is often double what the human heart can sustain. She died, leaving behind a child who isn't even in elementary school yet. In the aftermath, the internet did what it always does. It mourned for a moment, and then the algorithm moved on to the next stream. Wang Yefei's story is a reminder that dedication is a double-edged sword. In the rush to provide for our families, to build our brands, and to keep up with a world that moves at the speed of fiber optics, we often forget that the most important business asset we own is our health. Sister Wang Zha died in front of thousands of people, yet in her final moments, she was essentially alone in a room full of cameras and products. I'm Richard, and this has been Dark Silk. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and your health. I'll see you guys in the next case.